So just for a quick review, I will give you a glimpse of the things that I have covered so far. That is resolution of discrete time signal into impulses. Any discrete time signal can be resolved in the form of impulses, and impulse, as you know, is a very basic signal which is defined like this. Delta n is a signal which is having value unity at n equal to 0, and at any other n it is having value 0. So this says that any arbitrary signal, suppose we have an arbitrary signal 1, 2, 2, -1, -1 like this. Suppose this is signal strength 1, 2, 2, this is -1, -1, this is n is equal to 0, 1, 2, n is equal to -1, -2, and so on, and at any other n its value is 0. So this signal, suppose this is a arbitrary signal xn, this signal can be decomposed in the form of impulses, and this is the beauty of this impulse, that any signal, any arbitrary signal can be decomposed into the form of impulses. How can we do it? Simply, if we multiply this delta n by xn, means if we multiply xn by delta n, what we will come out? We will come out only with this part of the signal. This means x0, this strength is called x0, means value of x at time 0 is called x0, x0 delta n. Okay. Now if we multiply this signal is called x, rather this is x minus 1, this is x 1, means the value of xn at time 1. This signal is called x 2, and this is x minus 2, right? So if we multiply xn by delta n minus 1, delta n minus 1, what is delta n minus 1? Simply this impulse is shifted by 1 unit in time, and at any other position its value is 0. Now this is delta n minus 1, right? Now if we multiply this delta n minus 1 by this xn, what will be the result? This will be delta n minus 1 means this x1, we are going to multiply x1 by delta n minus 1, and at any other value its value is 0. So rest of the things are 0. So what we are left with is x1 delta n minus 1. Simply if we multiply xn by delta n minus 2, we are left with x2 delta n minus 2, right? And xn by delta, say, n plus 1, delta n plus 1 means this impulse will simply shift at this way, it will shift, it will advance, it will shift left. Okay. So this will result into x minus 1 delta n plus 1, right? X minus 1 delta n plus 1, meaning thereby if we sum up all these values, what we will ultimately find is xn. Okay. So what we are doing, we are simply resolving or decomposing any arbitrary signal xn in the form of weighted shifted impulses. Weighted shifted impulses. An impulse is a very basic signal suppose we have an arbitrary system, and the only characteristic that this system should possess is that this system should be linear and time invariant. You might have heard the property of linearity and time invariance. Linearity and time invariance means this system is linear as well as time invariant. If suppose we give impulse, unit impulse as input to this system, now suppose on giving this impulse we are obtaining output, some output which is say appears something like this. Suppose it appears something like this. Okay, this is 2, this is 3, strength is 3, this is -1 like this. This I am giving impulse, a simple undelayed impulse means delta n, and we are obtaining some output. This output is called impulse response of the system, means how this system is responding, how this system is giving its output if we are giving impulse as input, right? So this kind of response is known as impulse response of the system. And if we know that how this system is behaving with impulse, then we can very easily determine that how this system will behave if we supply any arbitrary input to this system. How can we determine? Because any arbitrary input can be decomposed in the form of impulses, that we know. Arbitrary input can be decomposed in the form of impulses, and since this system is linear and time invariant, suppose instead of this delta n we provide it some, say we multiply this input by some constant ck. Some constant means we are providing ck delta n as input. Simply all the output will be multiplied by the same amount ck. Okay, same scale factor ck is multiplied to all the output component, and instead of ck, if we say that we are multiplying it by x0, where x0 is a signal strength at origin, so here simply we are going to multiply x0 by each and every sample, each and every the system is multiplied by the value x0, means output is scaled by that factor. Okay. Now if we suppose apply rather x1 delta n minus 1, if this was the response on applying delta n, then what will be the response if we apply delta n minus 1? Since this system is time invariance, so simply the response will also shift in this by the same amount in time. Okay, because this is time invariant system, means if on applying delta n we are getting this, so on applying delta n minus 1 the whole thing will be shifted 1 unit in time. This is the time invariance property. So on applying delta n minus 1 we are getting shifted version of the output, and on simply multiplying this by x1 means the value at that time 1. So each and every stem will be multiplied by that constant which is contributed because of x1, right? So if this way we add all the input components, what we are going to apply? We are applying xn, because the whole xn is resolved in this form, and if we add all the outputs so formed, okay, this is one of the output, we will obtain another set of output because of this. We will obtain another set of output because of say delta n minus 2, x2 delta n minus 2. Okay, and if we add all such outputs, what final output we are going to get is yn. This is called yn. Got the point? So what this total explanation says that suppose we have a system, arbitrary system, at the input of which we are applying delta n, we are getting a response which is called Hn, and this is called impulse response of the system. Means the response we are getting if input is impulse. Response we are getting if the input is impulse is called impulse response of the system. So if we apply the shifted version of the impulse, say delta n minus 1, so simply this response will also shift by the same amount, because this system is time invariant. Okay, and instead if we multiply here, say x0, if we multiply x0 is a constant, x0 is a constant which is occurring, which is signal value at time 0. So the output will also be multiplied by x0. This linearity property says. Okay, and here if we multiply it by x1, the output will also be multiplied by the same amount x1. This is because of the linearity property of the system. Now suppose if we multiply, say delta n minus 2, if we apply delta n minus 2 to this system, what we obtain is Hn minus 2. This is the time invariance property. This is because of the time invariance property. Now if we multiply this delta n minus 2 by x2, naturally this will also be multiplied by x2. This is because of the linearity property, one of the part of linearity property. This is one of the part of linearity property. Linearity property can be considered in two parts. One part is superposition, other is scaling, right? Now if we perform the same thing in this left hand side shift of the impulse, means if we apply delta n plus 1 at the input of this system, so what we obtain is Hn plus 1, and if we multiply x minus 1 into it, naturally we will get x minus 1, and going this way we can express it up to minus infinity, and here we can express up to plus infinity. Okay, and if we add up all these values and we apply all the added value to the system, what system will produce, what linearity and superposition property says, that all the outputs will also be added. So if you add the left hand side, what you will obtain? You will obtain xn. So if xn is applied to this system, what output you are going to get? You are going to get simply x, and this index is variable, is called xk, and this is hn minus k, xk h n minus k. And since all the things are being added, all the components are being added from k equals to minus infinity to infinity, this we say that this is output yn. So yn is equal to summation k equals to minus infinity to infinity xk h n minus k. This formula is called convolution sum. So what this formula says, in fact, what this formula explains, I am further writing it down. Yn is equals to summation k equals to minus infinity to infinity xk h n minus k. We have an input sequence xk, we have a sequence corresponding to impulse response, there will be a sequence corresponding to impulse response. What we have to do, this remains unshifted, either we say xn or xk, doesn't matter, either we say hn or hk, no change. Okay, so what we have to do over here, simply you forget this, it is h minus k. H minus k means folded version of hk. So to obtain, and yn will yn is also a sequence, means yn will consist like this: y0, y1 and y2, okay, and so on, and similarly y minus 1, y minus 2, and so on. This is also a sequence. So to determine any y n0 value, say I am determining output, say y n0, I am saying this to be n0, y n0. So to determine y n0, what we need to do, we have to perform calculation k equals to minus infinity to infinity xk h n0 minus k. Okay, so to obtain y n0, what we need to do? Once we obtain a general any y n0, then we will obtain this one, this one, this one, and all other, and this way we will obtain the total sequence. Okay, so what steps we have to perform? There are 4 steps. The procedure to determine yn. The very first step is folding. In this process, you fold h k about k equal to 0. Okay, this means you obtain h minus k from hk. H minus k is obtained from hk. Second operation is shifting. Shifting. Why? Because in your expression y n0 is equal to summation k equals to minus infinity to infinity xk h n0 minus k. This is written in your expression. So first step you did folding. Now you have to shift this h minus k by n0 amount, and this is shifting of a folded version of signal. Shifting of a folded version of signal. So if plus is written over here, then you have to right shift the signal. Okay, this means if you have to determine, say, y1, so naturally what you have to do, summation k equals to minus infinity to infinity xk h 1 minus k, h1 minus k. So here n0 is equal to plus 1. Okay, so to obtain plus 1 of a folded version of the signal, you have to right shift. In unfolded version, you have to left shift. Okay, and then once you obtain the right shift version of the signal in this example, then you have to multiply these two signals by sample multiplication process. Sample by sample multiplication process. So the second step was shifting. Third step is multiplication. Multiplication of what? Multiplication between these two signals. Multiplication between xk and h n0 minus k. H n0 minus k. And the last step is, now you have worked out up to this level of mathematics. You have evaluated the highlighted thing, means the thing which is enclosed in this bold line. But now you have to obtain this summation. Summation of what? Summation of sequence which is obtained because of the multiplication of these two sequences. Then you have to add all the value right from minus k equals to minus infinity to k equals to infinity of this multiplication version of the sequence. Okay, and this will give you y1 in this particular case and yn0 in general. Okay, I will work out an example for this, then the things will be clear to you. Okay, so let us take an example and do the things to obtain convolution graphically. Means this is called graphical evaluation of convolution. You can approach either graphically or mathematically. I will explain many other methods to obtain convolution sum. So suppose we have a sequence Hn equals to say 1 2. I am taking the same problem as it is given in the book just to make things more clear to you, because you can refer the book later on while studying. Hn is this, and the problem says that determine the response of the system to the input signal xn if xn is say 1 2 3 and 1. Firstly, you understand what this problem is saying. We have to evaluate yn of the system. We have to evaluate yn of the system. Impulse response is given to us, input is given to us. This is the system, say this is the system. Means how this system will behave if an impulse is applied to this system, simply an impulse is applied to this system, it will behave like this. It will give output like this. Okay. This is known to us, means it is going to give output like this. This is 1, this is 2, this is once again 1, and then minus 1. Okay. It is giving output like this. Agreed with this? Now, if we supply, excuse me. हाँ राजू जी अभी एक क्लास में है, एक क्लास में, थोड़ा क्लास से फ्री होकर तब फोन करते हैं. Okay. Now suppose if we apply, simply the input was made up of only one sample, say this one. In input we have only this one, nothing else. Then what will be the output? The output will be same as it was when impulse was applied, because impulse itself was 1. Now suppose if input was only 2, nothing else. This 2, which is shifted, which occurs at say n equal to 1. Then what will happen? This output will shift 1 unit in time, and each and every sample in the output is multiplied by 2. Got the point? Now suppose input is having only this 3, nothing else. Then what will happen? This output will shifted 2 unit in time, because this occurs at this time, and each of this sample in output, shifted version of the output, will multiplied by 3. Got the point? And what about this? Because of the occurrence of this one, suppose input consists only this one, nothing else, and this occurs at this time, not at this time. Then what will happen? This output is shifted 3 units in time, and each and every sample is multiplied by 1. Okay. This was the situation when we applied these different inputs. Now if we club all these inputs, means add all these inputs, it will form this xn. Now to find yn in this situation, we have to add all those yns that we have obtained earlier. Okay. This is what the convolution formula says. Now to obtain this thing graphically, as per the given convolution formula, yn0 means output output sample at a particular n0 is summation k equals to minus infinity to infinity. Okay, summation k equals to minus infinity to infinity xk h n0 minus k. So to work out this, what we will do, we will plot this xk, we will plot this h minus k, and we will obtain y n 0, where this n 0 is varying, means y0, y1, y2, or y minus 1, y minus 2, y minus 3, like that. So let us draw and do the things. Firstly, let us draw xn. Xn is 1, 2, 3 and 1. This is xn. This is xn. This is n. And what about hn? What about hn? This is 2, 2, and then 1, then 1, okay, and then minus 1. This is hn. Now I will write it hk, and this I will write xk, just to differentiate it from yn. Okay, and this is k, this is also k. Okay, so according to this formula, we have to draw h minus k. So if this is hk, what will be the shape of h minus k? And I am drawing this h minus k just below xk, because it will give the ease while multiplication, while multiplying the things. So this will be 2, this is 1, this is 1, and this is minus 1. Am I right? This is the h minus k. And when I am saying h minus k, then this is equal to h 0 minus k rather. This is h 0 minus k, means when the shift was 0. So what term it will evaluate? It will evaluate y0. Y0 is what? It is summation k equals to minus infinity to infinity, okay, x k h 0 minus k. Okay, we have obtained this h 0 minus k, we have obtained xk. Now what we have to do? We have to multiply these two samples. These two samples are here. Let us multiply sample by sample, means multiply this 0th sample by 0th sample. So here it is having strength 1, 2, 3 and 1, and this is having strength 2, 1, 1 and minus 1. Okay, so 2 multiplied by 1 is 2, strength is 2, and here 2 multiplied by 1 is strength 2, and here 3, and here no strength 0, and here 1, and here no strength 0, here minus 1 and no strength 0, means all other samples they are 0. Okay, so this is having strength 2, this is having strength 2. This is the multiplied sequence. Suppose we form another intermediate sequence will be formed, and this intermediate sequence we say that this is V0n. This is V0n, and this V0n is the multiplied sequence. Now how can we obtain y0 from this V0n? Simply by adding all these values from minus infinity to infinity. So adding 2 into 2 results into 4. So y0 is 4. Got the point? Y0 is 4. This way y0 is 4. Okay. Now suppose if I have to evaluate say y1. So to evaluate y1, what we need to do? We have to shift this h minus k by 1 unit in time, and by shifting this 1 unit, what we have to do? 1 will come over here, 2 will come over here, 1 will be here, and this will be here, and this minus 1 will come over here. Okay, and now multiply these two sequences according to this formula. This will result into y1. This will result into y1. So if you multiply, this is 1, 2, this is 1, this is minus 1, 1 by 1. If you multiply 1 by 1, the result will be 1. If you multiply 2 by 2, result will be 4. 1, 4. And multiply 3 by 1, result will be 3. This 3 which is occurring at 2 and this 1 which is occurring at 2 over here, they will be multiplied. So the result will be 3. And this 1 is multiplied by 0. So the result will be 0. And this minus 1 is multiplied by 0, result is 0. Okay. This is intermediate result obtained because of multiplication, and this we say that V1n, rather V1, we should say that this is V1. Now to obtain Y1, what we have to do? We have to add all these samples value right from minus infinity to infinity. So 1 is added with 4 is 5, and 5 is added with 3 is 8. So Y1 is equal to 8. So doing this process, you can evaluate the whole sequence of yn. Okay. Got the point? It seems quite lengthy. It seems quite lengthy and tedious process. है कि नहीं? So let us do the things for another example to make the things more clear. And determine the output yn. Say problem number 2. Determine the output yn of a relaxed linear time invariant system, LTI system, whose impulse response is given by Hn is equal to alpha and un, where alpha mod alpha is less than 1, and input is unit step sequence, and xn is un. It is given. Okay. So we have to determine yn in this situation. We will take help of graphical method as well as mathematical method both. Here it is given that mod alpha is less than 1. Okay. So before explaining this thing, I would like to explain one more thing, that yn is obtained in convolution formula as summation k equals to minus infinity to infinity xk h n minus k. This we write down in short that xk is convolved with hk. The order of convolution is xk is convolved with hk. Now if you change the order of convolution, means if you convolve hk with xk, this is the symbol of convolution, this is star is symbol of convolution, the output will not change. This is the beauty of linear time invariant system and convolution formula so derived. So if we write down this formula like this, summation k equals to minus infinity to infinity hk x n minus k, we obtain the same output yn. Means which signal we are folding, whether we are folding hn or xn, it is not going to give any difference. It is not going to give any difference in the output, and this will be shown in this problem. Here in this problem we will fold hk. We will not fold. We will fold xk. We will not fold hk. So if we draw hk, hk is alpha and un, where mod alpha is less than 1. You imagine any value of alpha, say, which is less than 1, say 0.9. So the very first value will be 0.9 to the power 0, means 1. The very first signal strength will be 1. Then second will be 0.9, then square of 0.9, and this way it will decay like this. Okay. It will decay like this. So this is 1 and this is alpha, this is alpha square, this is alpha cube, alpha to the power 4, like this. Okay. And xk will be is unit sample sequence, it is un, xk is un, this is xk, this is xk, this is k, this is k, and this is hk. Okay. Xn was un, so xk is this. If we fold this, if you fold this xk to make it x minus k, it will look something like this. It will be something like this. Okay. This is x minus k, x minus k. Rather you can say that this is x 0 minus k also. This is x 0 minus k, and it is helpful in evaluating y0. To evaluate y0 you need to multiply these two sequences. Okay. And samples so obtained will be added. Samples so obtained will be added. What sample you are going to obtain after multiplication? Simply 1. Simply 1, because here also strength is 1 and here also strength is 1. So simply 1, and rest of the value they are 0. Okay. So y0, this is y0 also. In fact, this is intermediate result because of multiplication, but same y0 you will obtain. Okay. Now what about x1 minus k? x1 minus k. x1 minus k means you will shift the whole thing right by 1 unit in time. Okay. So here what you are going to obtain, the intermediate result because of multiplication is 1, and then 1 multiplied by alpha is this alpha, and if you add the value, so this will be 1 plus alpha, 1 plus alpha. Okay. And if you further shift it by 1 more unit in time, this will result like this. Okay. It will result like this. So multiplication result 1 alpha and alpha square, and this is y1, this is y0, and this addition is going to give you y2. And what is the result of this addition? 1 plus alpha square. Okay. This is y2, the signal strength at y2, signal strength at 2, output at 2. And this way you can evaluate the signal strength at yn, because this is a simple sequence. Okay. So if you calculate what is the general term for yn, so it will be 1 minus r common ratio, which is a, and n plus 1 terms are there, 1 minus common ratio, 1 minus a. Okay. So this will be the yn, strength of yn. If you plot all these values, and y infinity will be, because there are infinite terms, it will go up to infinity. Y infinity will be 1 over 1 minus common ratio, means alpha. This is the y infinity. So what will be the shape of output if you draw the shape of output? And this is say yn, and this is n. So y infinity means the strength at infinity, strength at y n tending to infinity is 1 over 1 minus alpha. Okay. So the very first strength is 1, y0 is 1, then 1 plus alpha, then 1 plus alpha plus alpha square, then 1 plus alpha cube, and going this way it will simply approach to this asymptote. This is asymptote, 1 over 1 minus alpha. Okay. This will approach to this asymptote. Got the point? So this is the output signal. So I am stopping over here. In the next turn, means tomorrow, I will tell you quite easier method, quite handy method, which will make this problem quite friendly in dealing your competitive examination. I will explain you that. Okay. So thank you for today.